Hi, and welcome to Dittmer Knittery. My name is Bev, and on this channel, you'll find knitting, crocheting, felting, some talk, definitely always yarn, maybe some crochet and knitting tools, and we'll just see what we get up to. Whether you are a returning or a new viewer, I'm so pleased to have you here today. And today I have a couple of clips about some activities here in the knittery. I have some crochet and some knitting and maybe a hint about some future plans. I think we all get behind sometimes on watching the videos we would very most like to watch. Another reason I'm really happy to see you here today is, there's so much good content. This is such a wonderful community, and I'm so pleased to be a part of it. I really, really enjoy watching Marieanne on her channel, the Crochety Clogger. And I have been trying to catch her Thursday afternoon lives and just missing it because I work. But the last couple of weeks, I've at least been able to chat in and say, hi, I'm here, I'm checking in. And then day before yesterday, today's Saturday, so day before yesterday, I was able to actually chat for a few minutes during Marieanne's live. The reason I'm talking about Marieanne is because she's just such a fun and genuine part of this community. And then, while I was watching that live on Thursday, she said they were going to be live Friday evening. So, she and Madonna. So when that live reminder came up, I joined in to the chat. Now, I have no idea what was going on, but man, was it a lot of fun. And that's why I'm talking about this, is Marieanne is a great part of our community, and she's a lot of fun. And if you're not a member of her channel, please go watch. And watch that replay of the live from last night. So that would have been today's February 5th, February 4th evening that she had a live stream, she and Madonna, on her channel. I think you would really enjoy watching that. And now I do have a couple of clips, and I'll be back in a few minutes to show you some other things. I have this knitted panel that I like to lay out to do some videos on and use it as a background. And I had noticed lately that there were some stitches that were pulled and picked. And I realized what was happening. That Georgia the cat, when I put out this piece of knitted fabric, Georgia the cat likes to lay on it. Well, now she's found this. I'm going to show this in a few minutes. She's found this crocheted, this is a soap sack. There's a bar of soap in there, and I've just set it aside because it's not quite finished. But she's discovered that, and she's been caressing it, and she's snagged a few of the stitches there too. And as I've said before, Georgia is a remarkably good cat. And it's really difficult to get mad at her about anything. She's just so cute and sweet. You probably hear my heater running in the background, so I apologize for any background noise, but I had to capture my girl doing what she does best. I saw Katrina on Mindful Crafts and More made some soap sacks. So this is a different take on felting soap. So I made a soap sack. I crocheted this soap sack. Has a bar of soap in there, and it's ready to close and finish. I got this kind of soap on Amazon because it was the least expensive package of 3 bars of quality olive oil soap. That's why I picked that one. And looks pretty good to me. It smells good. It feels good. So I've put one of the bars inside here. And I made some notes about how I created this soap sack. And then when I came to explaining how I was closing the top here, I wasn't quite sure how to explain that. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that in a minute. But I'll briefly tell you how I did this. I chained 15. I have 2 strands of fingering weight wool yarn. This happens to be Knit Picks palette yarn. And I'll show you a skein of this yarn in a moment. 2 strands, a size I 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, and I chained 15. Then I turned and I worked in the back bump of those chains across, so I had 14 stitches. And then I turned it the other way and began to work in the round. So I had my beginning chain, and then I had worked in the back bump, and then I just started stitching around. I didn't end rounds or chain, to finish each round because of what this is. It's okay if it's in a spiral. It's okay if it doesn't have a beginning and an end of its round. So that made it very easy and quick to make. So I just continued until I got it about the size that I wanted it. Now, it's going to be felted, so it's going to shrink. I didn't want it to fit tightly on the bar of soap, so I've allowed some room there. And I'm just going to show you a few of these closure stitches. I have my hook in my loop, and I'm going to insert in that first stitch, and then I'm going to insert in this other stitch on the back part there. So I had been working in the round, I stopped here, and I started doing this exact thing, just putting my needle through both of those stitches, my hook through both of those stitches. Some people call it a crochet needle, some people call it a crochet hook. I knit so much I have a tendency to call it a needle. Anyway, it is a 5.5, like I said, whether you call it a crochet hook or a crochet needle, it's 5.5 millimeter. And I'm going to make a slip stitch to create that closer stitch right there. And let me do that again. Go into the very next unworked stitch, both stitches, and pull through. Now, I thought I had split my yarn there, but I haven't. And that's how you create the closure. Just go to the end, pull your yarn through, and weave in the end. And you have a soap sack that you can felt. I hope you liked a couple of short clips that I had for you. This is the soap sack that I made. I have closed the top of it, and it's ready to use. And I think I will use it to felt it. I'm not going to felt it before I use it for my bar of soap in my shower. I think that's a good way to see what's going to happen. And skip the step of having to felt it in the kitchen sink. I like that. This is the yarn I used, 2 strands of Knit Picks. And this just happens to be Palette Twist. You can use any palette yarn. Palette yarn is a 100% wool yarn that has always faithfully felted for me. It comes in a large variety of colors. That's why it's called palette, because it comes in many, many, many colors. This is a Knit Picks product. And I used my size 5.5 millimeter US eye hook. Beautiful wooden hook that I enjoy using. I often use wooden tools. Sometimes the yarn doesn't work with the wooden tools and you have to choose something else, but if I can use wooden tools, I do. Wood or bamboo feels good on the hands. Next, I have a knitting project that I've been working on for a while. A friend came over one day with several skeins of yarn that she had purchased, just a really quite a variety of yarns, 5 or 6 skeins, and she said that she had purchased this at a local salvage warehouse, and I knew exactly what she was talking about. They sometimes get yarn there at Robinson's Salvage. And so she had purchased some different yarns and thought she would make something, but she never did, and so she brought the yarn to me, and I thought she was going to ask me to show her how to make something, but no, she wanted me to make something for her. And I said I would, but that it would take a while. So I had other projects going on. This has been a really, really relaxing knit. I just would work on it in the evenings when I was tired from working on other things that took more brain power. This was just enough to keep me engaged. So I have finished it. And it's a very small throw. It's by no means a blanket. And I told her that with the quantity of yarn that she had, that it would be a small throw. And she said that's exactly what she wanted, something to throw over her feet on the couch in the evening. So here is the finished blanket. It's folded in half. So these are 2 of the yarns that I used. This light pink and then a slightly darker purpley pink, which is a lovely, lovely textured, almost ribbon yarn. And this pink it looks like it's just pink, baby pink, but it really has some specks and tones in it. It's beautiful. And then, like I said, it's folded in half. So then this is the other half, some dark purple. And all these are, I believe, fingering weight yarns. And then this nice bumpy, and every time, I don't know how to describe the color of this yarn. Every time I look at it, I think it's different. In some lights, it looks almost brown. It is, I think, a raspberry pink, but it has quite a lot of personality and bumps and just changes in different lights. And this is just a lace knitting pattern I chose out of my Vogue knitting book, and I did the same pattern throughout the whole throw. I knit it, and then I put a crochet border on it, and yet one of the other colors that she had provided. So that's 5 skeins, and there was a skein I didn't use because it was heavier weight. It was a worsted, and these are fingering, like I said. And I started to put the worsted with it on the border, and it did look right, of course. And so I ended up not using that, but this was the yarns that she brought me in a beautiful finished object. I am going to block it, which some of the border looks like it's a little bit curly, and it won't be after I block it. I think it'll be just fine. I was very pleased with that project. The other things I'm working on, I have 2 whips that I'm not going to show because they are part of a make-along, I guess you'd call it. And it's called YarnyYouTubeHop. So Kim, the Crafty Nomad, and a few of us are getting together to create some seasonal projects. And so I've been working on those, and I think one of them will probably not surprise you at all, and I think the other one will probably surprise you if I'm able to complete it and show it to you. So I have those 2 things going on in the background, and like I said, it's Saturday. It's been a particularly peaceful and contented morning. Glad I got to share some of it with you. hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you will take care of yourself and take care of each other. If you can do that, be kind and patient, first with yourself and then with others. I don't always accomplish that, but even the trying makes me feel a little bit better. There are reasons in our world to feel unsettled. And so when we can spend time together like this, settled in the knittery, thinking of each other, caring about each other, I hope that we create a small space of solace. I know this is a space of solace for me, and I thank you. I will see you on the next video.